Hello gamers, it's Mew. It's been quite a while since I last did one of these book review videos. I'm so sorry. I honestly, I don't read as much indie books as I should. But I think part of it is like indie books, a lot of them you're not gonna find at the library unless they're particularly popular everywhere. So, but I got these for Christmas, so I'm like, okay, here's a really great opportunity to finally kickstart this series again. God, I just want to check really quick. When was the last time I reviewed a book? Because it was a long time ago. Blah, 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 blah. Hold on. God, that was like June of 2025, so that was like probably like 6 months, probably a little bit more than that. Okay, anyways, I do have a couple of indie books that I will be sharing with you all, so yeah. The first one, well, the one for this video, there's 2 more that will be coming shortly. First one is Cinnamon Soul by Quinn Lawrence. I've been wanting to read a lot more like authors and books from people on Critique Circle, because like, I've critiqued a lot on Critique Circle, like literally over 1,000 critiques last I checked. And I've been critiquing on Critique Circle for like years, probably at this point, like every day for the most part. Still a couple days where I missed for one reason or another. But anyways, I don't know Quinn Lawrence like personally, but this was on my list. I kind of forgot that this was on my list of like indie reads, because like on my story graph I have a little I had a little list of like all the indie books. I didn't even remember this was on my thing, but this was from my mom. She picked this for me. I'm not sure what compelled her to pick this book in particular. But anyways, there's also 2 versions of the cover. I'm not quite sure what's up with that. Actually, while we're here, I'm gonna look that up, because I'm actually curious. Oh, there's an audiobook? Oh, that's cool. And there's 2 different covers. I don't know why they're different. Curious though. Why? Wait, is book 2 out too? Wait, what the hell? Oh my god. Book 2 is already available for pre-order? Oh my god. Okay, cool. That's a book I'll be reading in my very soon future. That's so awesome, actually. I just discovered that. Okay, I'm gonna have to do some audio editing on this recording. Anyways, this is first in the Cinna and Hokuren series. Let me just read you the back blurb. Also, if there's a format that I previously established with the last one, yeah, I don't remember what the format is because I haven't really rewatched those. Okay, showed you the book cover. I don't know why there's 2, but it seems the old cover, you can't really get it anymore, so I don't know. Maybe that's a special edition? I'm not quite sure, to be honest. Anyways, here's the book blurb for real. The 2 of us against all of them? How unfair for them. Hokuren would rather swallow poison than crawl back to her old job at the Vel City Watch, but if she doesn't snag a big case soon, she may have no other choice. Her private investigation office's rent is past due. Her sterling success rate applies mostly to finding lost cats, and she should really pay her overworked elven assistant Cinna with more than just slices of blueberry pie. So when the prince asks Hokuren to find his daughter, she hopes that this will be the break she needs. But there's more to this case than a mere missing princess. Hokuren soon finds herself chasing after the monstrous villain behind an elf kidnapping scheme, and tangling with magic said to no longer be possible. Never trust the wizards. She's determined to uncover every secret, no matter how heart-wrenching, until she solves the case. Because she always solves the case. Yet as she and Cinna dig deeper into the conspiracy, Hokuren starts to suspect that the hunter has become the hunted, and the biggest secret of them all might be hiding with her unassuming assistant. A lighthearted and fast fantasy adventure full of action, mystery, and sly humor, Cinnamon Soul is also the heartwarming exploration of an unbreakable bond of friendship forged between two women as they struggle against the forces of the elite and powerful. Okay, so this book, I started this probably December. Yeah, I probably started this not too long after Christmas, but I don't know. Between December and January, I've been in a weird reading mood. I feel like I haven't been focusing very well on the stories I read. I did make a few comments as I went. So yeah. Is this actually one of them is spoilers, so we're not gonna do that. Okay. On about 4% of the way in, page 12, I thought the sentences were kind of awkward, and I didn't. Well, actually, I guess this is kind of a spoiler, but it's in literally the first page, so whatever. But anyways, I didn't think they should have started with dealing with the master thief, who's he's the master thief. Wow. But I don't know, maybe it'll escape. I really liked, and I still like the dynamic of Cinna and Hokuren, so I was very excited to see the story play out. And then 36% of the way in, page 110, I got super hooked, and I still thought the dynamic was fun, but also the world building is super cool. Okay, I fear this review may not be quite as long as the reviews that I've made in the past. Yeah, God. One of them's 23 minutes long and the other is 32. I'm sorry. I try to have a lot to say, but sometimes I don't. But yeah, first read this in December, and then I reread this late January. So, yeah. Anyways, pacing. I thought it was pretty fast and consistent all throughout. The plot, the main plot is supposed to be they're looking for the king, or is it? No, he's a prince. I still don't know why he's a prince, honestly. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that, because I don't think there was ever said to be a king, but the guy that rules this is a prince. I guess that's a world building thing that I'm kind of lost on. But yeah, to me, it did seem like the main plot does sort of get forgotten about, which, it does kind of make sense, but I was also hoping for a point where they're kind of wait, we still technically have to do this for the king, because we're not getting the money. And I do think it does kind of lose itself in the middle a little bit, as I do, but by the end it does kind of find itself and refocus. But there's a bit of a twist in there. Okay, character-wise, obviously Cinna and Hokuren, they're the two main characters. They get the most fleshed out, obviously. Good. I think Cinna's backstory is really interesting. Hokuren's is also kind of addressed, not in quite as depth as Cinna's, but I mean, I still like the little we got for Hokuren. I do think a lot of the side characters appear once or twice, so most of them I don't really have much thoughts to say, but I do think Nyana is stuck up as hell, and Sonara is kind of shitty, which I really like how Goddess is not as cool or good as a person as we thought, but yeah, I don't like Sonara. Relationships! There's not a whole lot of relationships to talk about, or ones that I can say. I don't think I properly looked at the blurb, unfortunately. But like in the beginning I was like, are they gonna be like friends or sapphic? But they actually surprised me and they went the family route, which in theory I do like, but I didn't really get familial vibes from them. Just kind of felt like a good friend duo. And same with like the side characters. Like most of the side characters, they didn't really leave an impact, which is fine. Honestly, not every side character has to be like amazing, show-stopping good. As for grammar, I think there was like one grammar thing at the beginning, but otherwise pretty good. Didn't notice much else for grammar. World building, I don't think this book, it's not super heavy on the world building, but like what we did get was cool. And I also liked, actually, the thing that I was about to say was spoilers, but if you care to see spoilers, I'm gonna link my story graph and my page bound. I don't use Goodreads anymore. Anyways, in general, I really love this book. I gave it 5 stars, which, like, for me, in terms of the books I make, like, I don't think a 5-star book has to necessarily be perfect. It's either close to perfect or my enjoyment trumps, like, everything else that I took issues with the book. Anyways, the beginning, like I said, it wasn't my favorite, but it got very interesting very quick, and though the main plot kind of seemed to be forgotten about, and it seemed the blurb spoiled something a little bit, and I feel like said plot point didn't get properly addressed afterwards. But this was the first book I read from a fellow user of Critique Circle, and this was so good. I loved it. I love what the users of Critique Circle make so much. I know people give, like, indie authors and self-published authors flack sometimes for, like, I don't know, not being as good, but I don't know. Expand your horizons. Try out some self-published books. Sometimes they're not all gonna be perfect, but, you know, it's always good to see what people are really authentically making instead of the ones pushed by big traditional published houses and stuff. Not to say that traditionally published books can't be good, but, like, I don't know. Seems like there's quite a lot of books that are just the same thing over and over again. Fantasy fairies, romantasy, you know. They're not taking any risks. So, but yeah. I did know there's a second book in the works, but that second book is on its way soon. So I gotta add that to my to be read TBR. I gotta put that on my TBR, actually. I'm probably gonna snag that as soon as it's April, actually. Anyways, I really like Cinnamon Soul. You should really read the book too. I'll leave links in the description. I'll also have my bookshop on there. It's gonna have I'll make sure Cinnamon Soul and also maybe the sequel will be on my bookshop. Basically, with bookshop, I have it set up so that I have like a little storefront. You buy books through bookshop, I get like 10% commission. I guess it's commission. I get like 10% commission on any book sales that are made. So if this review and the blurb and stuff and the cover and whatever, etc., if it all sounds interesting, consider checking out Cinnamon Soul. But if you don't like that, but there's other books in my bookshop that catches your eye, also consider buying them. Not just to support me, but also to support smaller authors and and local bookshops and stuff. That's like something I'm like really passionate about. So, you know, there's more of these book reviews to be coming. I did say they would not all be for Silas, but I will probably read everything Silas makes. I've still got to read. I forget the name of the book. Fuck. But there's another book of his that I only beta read it, but I haven't actually read it. But at some point, I'm gonna buy that, and I'm gonna make a review for it. I swear. Grr. Anyway, there's a couple more books for the indie book review series that I have in mind. So you know, give my book suggestions a try, please. Yeah, that about does it. Thank you all for watching so much. Also, I'm an author now too. At the time of recording, it's available for pre-order, but maybe the book's already out, so, you know, you should also check out my book. Anyways, that's about it. Thank you all for watching. Bye!